This is a quick video to show you how to put doors, windows, and components into a building or structure that you're working on. So I'll assume that you have some walls on your screen as well. They do not have to match mine. This is just an example here. But if you want to put in a door, you go find the architecture tab on the ribbon, the door tool, then you go to the type selector and pick the type of door you want to use. Single flush is a very common interior, even just exterior door we use it for. We don't get too worried about that at the moment. So for example, I would click 3684, common exterior door size, and you have to have the cursor on a wall, and once you do, you can left click to place it. If you don't like the orientation, I escape a couple times, highlight that door, there's the flip-flop arrows. I can change which side it swings, or if it swings in or out. Those are all options to change once you have it in place. I go back to that door tool. Cancel that at the moment. Go back to that door tool, my type selector. If there's a door that is not here that I want to use, I go to load family. I go to the door folder, and I can look through these options here. If you just single click on them, you can look at the previews, or you can go into the residential doors, and there's a lot of other options here too, including even like garage doors down the road. Escape when I'm done with that tool. Windows, very much the same way. Click on the window tool. You'd find the window you want to use with your type selector. Double hung, again, very common window. Put that in, and just hover on the walls. Just making sure that the glass area of this symbol or this model are towards the outside. This would be backwards if the Windows symbol looked like that, because we want the glass towards the outside of the house. That way the windowsill is on the inside of the house. It keeps more water out and away from the structure this way. Now again, the window. If you go to your type selector and you can't find a window that you want, you can go to load family. And this is a common thing for all these tools, load families. Scroll down, find the Windows folder, and you can see there's a fair amount of windows you can pick from here. Lots and lots of ones to preview and select, and just double click them when you find one you like. And you can sometimes even, you may highlight and pick the size you want. For example, I'll just pick one of these. You can highlight and bring them all in. There's our type selector showing that window, and there it is. The other thing you can do with doors and windows, if you have that item that you want, let's say go back to double hung, well, there's not a lot of sizes here. You can always pick one size, edit the type, duplicate. Let's just say I want to make this a 24 by 48 window. 24 inches by 48 inches. Click OK. And I would just scroll down here where it says width and height. So width, 24 inches or 2 feet. And height, 48 inches or just 4 feet. Click OK. And we've just created a 2 foot by 4 foot window, double hung, our own size. So a very common thing, you can find something similar to what you want, use the edit type to modify that once you get there. Window, edit type, and there it is. You can modify those things. There are some properties boxes, things about windows. We don't use these nearly as much as we do when it comes to walls. Escape cancels from everything. The last thing, if you ever want to put in fixtures, cabinets, appliances, those kind of things that are components on the architecture tab, hit the type selector. We get a lot of options here right away. So for example, cabinets are common, but I want to put something you can see. what happens when it spins. The toilet's actually a really good example for this, right? There's a toilet, domestic 3D. And before you place it, if you space bar, that rotates by 90. So a nice little feature. And you could put that in the corner, for example, like that. Go back to my type selector. Let's say I'm ready for some cabinets. I scroll way up. There's base cabinets. These are all the widths that they're talking about here. So 3 feet. And this one's kind of a guess at first. You might have to put one in because I don't really know which side's the front. Might hit escape, go back to 3D view, shift and roller. If I get a good angle, I can zoom in, and that is the correct way. Go back to my first floor, and then I would just keep building components, and I would keep doing cabinets, countertops, sinks, vanities. We use the component one quite a bit because it's kind of a very broad range of things. Again, if there's not something in the type selector that you want to use and you think that it should be there, you go over to load family. This one's a little bit trickier because now you kind of have to start to guess which folder you may need to go into, whether it's casework for cabinets, furniture, if you didn't have couches or beds that you like there, plumbing for other plumbing fixtures, and so on, and just go in and pick those items out. Let's try furniture once. There it is. TVs, flat screens, there we go, open. Sure enough, you can put a TV in, and you may actually want to put a cabinet or something for that to sit on. Escape a few times, cancels all the tools out, but that's a quick rundown on adding the stuff that's inside the house. Component tool, type selector, find what you want. Even the TV, if I highlight it, I could technically edit this and change the sizes of it as well. So if I want a bigger TV, that's how you just would modify that there. Again, the best way would be to duplicate it, rename it the new size you want, change those. That way you're always keeping the original. In case you ever want to go back to it, you can just then hit the type selector and swap it right back. And then if you want to put stuff at a different level, let's say for example I go 3D, everything I'm putting in here is on the first floor. If eventually you have a second level to this house, you would then go to the second floor plan over on the right. And while you're in here, component, let's say perhaps a bed. I thought I saw one in here. There's a bed right there, king bed. Might be a little bit big for this tiny house, but it is in the loft, so I can put it in up there. Escape to cancel the tool, escape. If I go back to 3D, you can now see how that bed is on the second story. Now clearly we still need to add a floor in here yet, but that's just a little bit different. Floor tools are right there. And what you simply do is just draw the rectangle shape that needs to fill in the floor in whatever area you need. So for example, I would go here, floor tool, rectangle. It's crude, but we can talk more about this later. Just get those purple lines drawn in. Finish. Go back to 3D. And there's our floor, highlighted in blue. And to change things in heights, you go to their properties and you can do offset from levels and those kind of things. Okay, hopefully that helps a little bit. We can expand more on it in class.